A lot of the trees out there were introduced in the last good few hundred years. So picture an Ireland 12,000 years ago, barren. By 9,000 years ago, there was just birch, hazel, alder. There would have been bracken, there would have been stuff that you associate with wet areas, right? Then pine trees started to come in, and then oak and ash. But that wasn't until about 8,000 years ago. And then the humans that were here, they were already sort of hunter-gatherers. But by the 6,500 years ago, they had learned that if you cut down a few trees and get a thing called a plough, and you can plough the land, you could collect the seed from the better wild plants that are around and plant them, and you can begin to grow better and better forms of wheat or oats or barley and so on and so forth. We have about 35 what we call native species, and I hate the word native because the trees belong to the earth. Heritage Week helps reawaken that sense of heritage. We have inherited something from the landscape, from the country, from our past. The presence of trees is vital to a proper understanding of Irish landscape, but also of Irish culture and society. The connection to the land that makes us uniquely Irish. Imagine a landscape without trees, and the effect of having no trees on your landscape means that your life is empty and barren. This is the lime tree, the broadleaf lime, and this is its seed. It has a special adaptation. Normally there's 3 of these little seed pods hanging out of it. But I remember the first time I saw this happening was in France, and the trees were, there was a load of lime trees, and these were flying through the air for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of meters, just swirling around like little helicopters. So trees have different ways of spreading themselves. We lost so much in the last few hundred years. And it's only now that people have begun to realize the importance of trees within our life and in our world. And we've begun to repopulate the country with trees, that we can begin to reconnect not just to the landscape, but to be a much stronger and healthier society. Trees are intelligent, very, very intelligent. Now this one is called the Scots pine. And how is it going to get enough sunlight to be able to feed the roots and feed the tree and grow and whatever else like that? So it decided that it was going to grow as fast as possible to get up to where the sun is. The way it did that was, it decided that I'll only put my main energy into the top of the tree so that it goes up faster and higher, down low. You'll see that all of the bottom branches have died and are falling off because the tree does not want to feed them. It only wants to get up where the sun is so they can get maximum sunlight and therefore survive.
Efficiency is not God's highest goal for your life, nor is busyness, but walking, which leads to seeing. Now that's something. That's the invitation for every one of us today and every day. In every conversation, interaction, event and moment, to walk, not run. And in doing so, to see a whole world right here within this one.
If you come here in the spring, watch to see when the buds are just beginning to open. Trees do all their growing in about a 6-week period every year. So they lie dormant, they go to sleep for the winter, and then as the daylight begins to lengthen again, it wakens the tree up, and the roots begin to take in more food and send it up into the tree to force the leaves to open so that it can be fully clothed for the summer and all the benefit of the sunlight during the summer. We are part of creation, and in order to play our important role in the creation story that's going on, we have to give respect to all of the other aspects of creation that's out there. So trees and everything that makes trees and a woodland viable, they're there to teach us. But if we're not there, the woodland will still be there, and that creation will continue in its own way. The energy flows up from the earth through my chakras, out through the top of my head. It flows down my arm and out through the palms of my hand. As it flows out through the palms of my hand, we all have our own signature energies. We need to use all of our senses and open ourselves emotionally and spiritually to that experience of creation that's all around us, and acknowledge that it's there not just for us, it's there for everyone and everything.